Hello YouTube, my name is the Legend of the S, and welcome back to the road to E3 or Nintendo's E3. Last time, we are now going away from the fast lane to get into our spaceship and go to space because we're going to transition from my last episode's F-Zero to this episode's Metroid, and the chances of Metroid being at E3. If you watched my predictions video, which surprisingly enough, it's close to 1,000 views on YouTube. Thank you very much for that, by the way. I said at the end that I think that Nintendo, no matter what type of show they'll be running at E3, it will be starting with Mario and ending with Metroid. Why do I think Metroid? Well, it's simple. Although Metroid is not a big seller, no Metroid has ever sold over 3 million, it's a franchise that people have been wanting and asking for a while. Not only that, in 2018, it will mark the 8th anniversary of Metroid Other M. Now, whether people like that game or not, completely different story. However, after Super Metroid, Nintendo went 8 years without making a new Metroid game. And then they made Prime in 2002. Well, when was the last time Nintendo made a mainline Metroid game? The Nintendo Wii with Other M in 2010. Right now, it's 2017. Notice a pattern? It's been 7 years off. Now, sure, we did get Metroid Prime Federation Force, but it's a good thing to remember. Federation Force started as a DSi game back in 2009, a year before Other M came out. So would it really be that shocking if Nintendo decided in 2018 to release a new Metroid game and close E3 out with it as a small teaser, where you just hear the theme for Super Metroid, for example, and just the Metroid logo appears, and then 2018. That would be very good. That would be a very hype way to announce end E3, to build up E3, and to show that you are dedicated to doing and bringing back older franchises that maybe aren't as big sellers. Like I said in my previous video, Prime F-Zero was not exactly the biggest seller, and Metroid follows that line. Metroid has had very good sales, don't get me wrong, and it's sold consistently throughout most games, with Metroid, the original Metroid, and Metroid Prime being the best sellers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Metroid Prime sold 2.8 million, while Metroid, the original, 2.7 million. But most Metroid games end up being in between 1.8, like Metroid Prime 3, and the 1.3 million that's Echoes. There is exactly, let me just count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 Metroid games in that 1.3 to 1, yeah, 1.3 to 2 to 1.8 million mark. With then obviously Metroid Trilogy, the Prime Trilogy, not selling as well, mainly because I remember hearing it was a rare copy, and Zero Mission being the GBA game. But apart from it, every single Metroid has pretty much sold the same, with obviously Prime and the original selling far superior to the others. But anyway, I think that Nintendo will announce this at E3 as the evidence of, like, we too care about the hardcore gamer. I don't think it's gonna be made by Retro Studios. At least I hope it isn't. Like I said in my predictions video, I hope that Metroid doesn't return to a franchise they have worked on. So no Donkey Kong and no Metroid. The only way I would be kind of excited for Retro working on Donkey Kong or Metroid is if it was a 3D Donkey Kong, because it's something they haven't done yet. I would much prefer them to work on Star Tropics or a new IP than another Metroid. Now, who would make this? I don't know. How should I know? I'm not a guy that knows all the developers, but it would be neat for Nintendo to show this, especially as the big mainline event for 2018. Now, obviously, I personally don't think that it's going to be the mainline game for 2018 for Nintendo. I think that crown goes to either Animal Crossing or Pokemon, depending on which one comes out next year, maybe even Super Mario Maker or Super Mario 2D Mario. But Metroid being the first game where they teased for 2018, well, the second one since they already announced Fire Emblem, it would give goodwill, it would make people excited for it, and it would make the people that are on the fence and people that complain all the time that Nintendo doesn't listen to their fans because for some reason it's something that people believe in. I mean, sure, they don't exactly react immediately, but you cannot say that for example, when the Wii things were around, like, oh, Mario Kart Wii was online was pretty bad. Why didn't they fix it quickly? Well, it was the Wii. They really couldn't do much. Well, like, they could do a lot, but they couldn't do really much when it came to the online infrastructure of it. But Breath of the Wild shows they do listen, and I would think that this one would not be another sign of goodwill from Nintendo to the fans to show like we listen, we care. Here's Metroid, but also to make buzz around it because the media will eat it up. Metroid has been away for 8 years. The media loves Metroid. Look at the Prime trilogy, one of the highest rated trilogies of all time on Metacritic. It would do wonders. It would create a buzz around the game, it would create a buzz around Nintendo, and it would create a buzz around the Switch, which is more important. Not only that, it could be 2018 could be the year where they build upon the various amounts of diversity ways you can play the Switch. 2017 is right now, at least the summer, is looking very multiplayer based. Actually, most of the Switch has been looking very multiplayer based, with only Breath of the Wild being the only true single player game that has come out. Now obviously Mario is coming out later in the year, but I think that's going to have some way of online functionality, at least multiplayer. I've said it in my predictions video, maybe a foot like the Mount Mustache level in Super Mario 3D World, which was just a level where you just ran, was a race to the finish basically. That would be fun. Online multiplayer would be great. But that's about it about Metroid. I think Metroid is almost a guaranteed at E3. With Nintendo, there's never guarantees. That's why I put it at a 9.5 out of 10 of being at E3. There's always that 0.5 that's going to bite me in the ass in a couple of days. But yeah, that's about it. Tell me in the comment section what you think about Metroid coming to the Switch. When do you think it is going to be released on the Switch? But yeah, I've been the Legend of the S, and I'll see you guys next time.